So we asked everybody on this show what's the biggest fuck up they've got in their career and what have they learned from it. So what have you got, Rich? Being a brilliant storyteller and presenter, I'm sure you've got no fuck ups, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely none. It's actually been a breeze. Life is so easy. Yeah. I mean, the problem is, of course, that there's too many to list. One of the biggest problems, one of the biggest mistakes I've made, and let me bring it back. This is what I was going to say to you, but because I am quite an eloquent storyteller, I don't just sell audience, I sell myself. So one of the biggest challenges facing people who are good at telling stories and persuading other people is that they actually are often very, very eloquent and simultaneously incorrect. But because I'm able to frame my argument in such a way that it's convincing to other people, I end up convincing myself, and I've made some really, really silly mistakes. A big one for us was after lockdown. So during lockdown, we have a presentation company. We did terribly. We went to revenue zero straight away. But actually, by the end of the year, by August, we'd had our best month in 18 months with no live events. And September was our best month. And at the time, I think it was our 24-year history. And the reason was that everybody who thought they were great at presenting agreed that they were terrible at presenting online. Overnight, we started picking up lots and lots of international customers, and we bet the farm on the fact that we could do all business online, everything. But then what happened, and I was so convinced of this, and I was appearing on podcasts and shows and advocating the idea that we should never go back to the office again, never do any of these things. And I had convinced myself so much. But then what happened is, slowly but surely, people did want to start interacting again. They did go back to things. I was still doing lots of online keynotes as opposed to traveling halfway around the world to do them. And in fact, we never reopened our office, which, I mean, we had such a cool thing going. We gave away free sex toys to all the ladies they could take them in putting the O in Prezzo in our ladies' toilets. We had a shooting range. We had so much going on. And we kept it all closed because we thought that we were smarter and better than that. And it was such a fuck up. I had no idea. When you do a branding exercise, and let's be honest, that's all of our office was, right? Our office was a campaign. People always thought, oh, you're doing it for your staff. The novelty of cool offices wears off for people working in those offices after a month. Then it's just work. It's actually for the other people. But sometimes what happens is you create a brand position in the market. You take it so much for granted that you forget that it is effective. You then move away from that brand position, and only then do you see the fallout of it, which was our word of mouth engine effectively ended. That word of mouth engine, people going home and talking about their experience at our office overnight, ended. And then we had to start doing much more reaching out to people and selling. It was insane. It cost us an absolute fortune. In fact, I would argue it nearly cost us the business.
Why did you not reopen the office, or had that ship sailed?
So two things. One, we gave our staff the chance to work from a distributed location. So we had even people in the same city worked hours away from each other, very, 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 very far. We had staff in Joburg, in Cape Town, for a while in Durban. We have in Milton Keynes. I'm out in the Isle of Man. Where is the core? Second of all, people become quite used to, getting up late and working there. And so it became hard to convince. And third of all, by the time it got to the point where we needed to rebuild another big, massively exciting conversation-worthy location for our clients and staff to come to, by this point, I didn't have the margin and profits to make it. So now I was stuck in this catch-22 that we had to start from a product level again and build up.
Yeah, that sounds challenging. I think we've all been through the COVID pandemic scenario where we've met a lot of people that have had problems from that period, from online entrepreneurs that have lost millions as well. So yeah, I mean, it was a tough period, but you did well to come out of there, focusing on online presentations. I think that's a nice, to use the 2020 term, pivot, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was a very real need. Everybody knew that they weren't good at presenting that way. The challenge is knowing when to, I guess, that every time you pivot, sometimes it's just a swinging door, and you need to understand that the door, you didn't pass through it, the door is still going to swing back. And I didn't really anticipate that fast enough as a leader. And I made some mistakes that probably had too many late nights. I definitely caused too much stress and late nights for my management team.